episode 8 of the Bobcast, in which we're going to talk about and break down the pitchers that are going to be competing for the National League Cy Young Award. Um, like when I did the American League one, we'll go through all the pitchers, but unlike the American League one, I think and maybe for the first time out of all the two last year and the two this year, there's actually maybe going to be some contention about who gets this award. I mean, clearly a bunch of different GMs have different criteria. This one really is up in the air about who's going to win it. We're going to start with the defending Cy Young winner and in the National League, and the guy who most people thought would take it again this year, Roy Halladay. Doc, 35 years old, yet still pitching like a champ. Last year he was 21-8 with a 1.87 ERA and a WHIP of 0.86. He's not as good. I mean, that was an all-time like immortal season. That was Bob Gibson, Brian Guidry type year. But he's still having an incredible year with a month left to go. He is 18-7 with a 2.26 ERA. Already has thrown 238 innings, a WHIP of .90. So another unbelievable year for Doc. He is having the year everyone expected him to have. He is second in ERA, first in WHIP. He is second in strikeouts. He's like right up there, first in complete games, first in shutouts, second in wins. He's having another incredible season, and this time actually leading the Phillies to a division lead. So he's not pitching on like a last place team like he was last year. So Doc is definitely in contention and has a very good shot at winning this award. Up there with him, though, is two pitchers from the team that is chasing Philadelphia and is giving them a good run for their money, the Washington Senators. The first is the phenom, Steven the Senator Strasburg. Strasburg come back from missing all of last season, having a really good year. 28 games, he is 13-6, so the win-loss is not so good, but a 2.16 ERA. With a WHIP of 1.01, so a WHIP of 1, letting only one guy on base per inning. He is leading the league in ERA. He is fourth in WHIP. He's having second in opponent's average. He's having just a wonderful season, sixth in strikeouts. A great year on the comeback, coming back from injury for Steven Strasburg. Not as many innings as the other guys who are in contention, but a very good year. His teammate and the number 2 starter for Washington, Jordan Zimmerman, having a breakout year for him. Last year was not that good. Only started 10 games. Only started 24 games. He started 24 games, but he was only 10-5. Went from the bullpen to the rotation back and forth. This year, though, firmly ensconced in the Washington rotation, having a great year. Zimmerman is 13-6 with a 2.74 ERA, 193 innings, a WHIP of 1. Like exactly 1, so a great year. He is second in the league to Doc in WHIP. He is 7th in ERA. Just having a really good year. Not in top 10 in wins, but the wins don't really matter for pitchers. So those two are both having great seasons. And yet another guy up there, also in the National League East, chock full of pitching, is Josh Johnson. Johnson, win-loss is bad, but he's pitching for a last place team in Miami. In Florida, whatever. 13-10 with a 2.30 ERA and a WHIP of 1.10. Great year for Josh Johnson. He is third in the league in ERA. He is 9th in WHIP, having a really good year. Josh Johnson is. Another couple pitchers that are up for it from the NL West. You have I can't pronounce his first name, Chacin for Colorado. 19-7 with 2.49, pitching in Colorado, which is even though he's pitching to a 2 ERA in Colorado and like a 3 ERA in the road, so you can't blame that on the place. Julius Chacin. It's not Gustavo. It's some guy Chacin on Colorado. Although I have zero chance of pronouncing his first name. Having a really good year. 19-7, 2.49, like I said, WHIP of 1.08. He is 4th in ERA. He is 7th in WHIP. Just having a really good season. I'd be remiss, of course, and Mike would scream at me if I didn't talk about a pitcher or two from the San Francisco Giants. We'll mention their ace, Tim Lincecum, the freak. He is 15-7 with a 2.68 ERA, WHIP of 1.01. So another guy with a minuscule WHIP of 1, third in the league in WHIP, having a really good year. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Phil Koch's having a really good year again for Philadelphia, although how he's doing it, I don't know. 14.5 to 2.6 ERA in 185 innings, a whip of 1.07. A really, really good year for Phil Koch. A couple of other guys you talk about. I guess I'll talk about Giovanni Gallardo on Chicago, since Chicago deserves some depth. Someone on their team to talk about, since they're the best team in the National League. Gallardo's 59 with a 2.993 ERA, whip of 1.10. He's pretty good. I mean, it's not great. It's not going to get him the award, but he's pitching really, really well. Anchor of the Chicago organization with Garza and the new guy Gray, but he's been around long enough. So those are pretty much the contenders for it. Some debate about who's going to get the award. Personally, my vote, if the season ended today, I would give it to Doc again, to Roy Halladay. I mean, his numbers are just too good. He is, as mentioned, he is second in ERA. He is first in WHIP. So it's him or Strasburg probably. But since Doc's anchoring his team and leading his team to the playoffs to win the division over Strasburg and Zimmerman, I'm going to give my vote to Roy Halladay. Peace. See you next time.